everyone, today I'm going to share with you 5 easy DIYs to make a stunning Mother's Day tablescape. I'm a crafter from Down Under and I love to make my family and friends smile when they arrive at a special occasion and see beautiful DIYs and beautiful tablescapes all made on a budget. Let's get started. The first DIY I'll be sharing with you is this beautiful Mother's Day floral centerpiece. You're going to need a block of wood about 4 to 5 inches square, give it a light sand, and then start to prepare for paint. You can stain or you can paint it. I found some paint in my garage and it's like a fawn colour. I used a baby wipe and just smeared it all across the block of wood just to even out the colour. Then you're going to need your hot glue gun to start to adhere the floral wreath ring to your block of wood. Give it a really healthy dose of glue. I found that low temperature glue worked better than high temperature. It seemed to adhere in a much better, more stronger way and allowed me to work with it more efficiently. I wasn't convinced, however, that the ring would hold all of the embellishments that I was going to put on it, so I went out to the garage, got a couple of nails, bent it into the block of wood and just tapped it in, and that gave it a nice secure, sturdy frame. You're going to need some floral wire to attach the greenery to the wreath frame. The floral wire can be, I'm just using a light gauge floral wire. I don't really know what the gauge is, but any piece of floral wire will do. You can use twine, you can use cotton. I just used a range of different greenery that I had in my stash, and I'm going to start curling it around the wreath ring. I'm really only going to focus on the left side of my wreath ring, because on the right hand side I will be using a candle tea light to hang from the top of my wreath. Then I use some hot glue gun to just give it some extra security and really make sure that that floral wire doesn't move around. Then I'm going to use some florals that I had again in my stash. In Australia, you can find greenery and you can find florals in Spotlight, in Lincraft, and in many $2 stores. This greenery and these floral arrangements for this particular wreath, I really want to give it that wispy, romantic, kind of floaty feel. I'm really looking for an elegant centerpiece for my celebration. So yellow, white and green are going to be my colours, and you will start to see that through the DIYs that I have for you today. I just think that yellow, white and green, certainly yellow is one of my mum's favourite colours, so I really want to display a beautiful table using those colours for her to celebrate Mother's Day. Then I've got a range of different peonies. Again, they were in my stash. Actually, they were left over from my Easter decorations. Just cutting them down and securing them to the wreath form using glue. You've got to make sure when you are arranging this type of centerpiece that you decorate both the front and the back. Really make sure that you don't have too many open gaps or holes in your wreath arrangement, so that when you're sitting around the table, you've got a beautiful wreath frame, nicely fleshed out, fluffed out, and no gaping holes or parts where you can see the glue or the wire. So you've just got to watch out for that. You are creating a centerpiece that can be seen by everyone sitting around the table. Go ahead and arrange those flowers all throughout the wreath the way you like it. Again, I'm really focusing on the left-hand side and I'm just building it out using my beautiful florals and greenery. Next, you're going to use some fishing wire to attach to the top of the wreath. What I love about the fishing wire is its translucency makes it look like the candle holder is floating in midair. It gives it that extra sense of romance, that extra sense of elegance, and it is simply stunning when it's in place. Just add a couple of knots, cut off the excess. I added a battery operated candle into the candle tea light holder. I don't have to worry about an open flame, and there you have it, a beautiful Mother's Day centerpiece with beautiful florals, wispy, romantic, elegant, with your floating tea light candle holder. And of course it'll bring light to your table, it'll bring a sense of elegance to your table, and it actually does three things in one. It brings your flowers, your centerpiece, and your lighting all together in one, so that it frees up space on your table to entertain. I think it's beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed this DIY. See you soon. This DIY is a golden terrarium centerpiece. I'll be using it as part of my Mother's Day celebrations, part of my tablescape. It is a dupe of a terrarium that I had in my home for quite some time. I bought it from, in Australia here, I bought it from Kmart, and I thought this would be really nice. I only have one, so I thought it would be really nice to dupe it using bamboo skewers. Now you can pick up bamboo skewers from your supermarket or from a department store or even one of the $2 stores, and you'll need about 8 sticks to start cutting down. You'll need some glue, hot glue, to put the skewers together. I won't be making the glass pieces. Obviously, I don't have glass, but I am making the terrarium frame, and you'll see that it looks just as beautiful without the glass, and I can use it as a centerpiece for my Mother's Day celebrations. So what I'm doing here is I measured up some of the skewers against the original terrarium, and from that I am starting to now glue the pieces together. I'm starting with the top half of the terrarium and creating that triangular form. This will create the base for me to then start building out the bottom part of the terrarium and giving it some height. The glue needs to be on a low temperature. This allows you to work with the glue in a more tacky form. You will need it to be fairly tacky because you're working with 2 or 3 sticks at the one time. And I find with the very hot glue temperature, it just takes too long. It burns you. You do need to be fairly hands-on with this glue. If you've got any finger covers or gloves even, I'm okay with my fingers. They're pretty tough, but you will be touching the glue a fair bit. So you just need to be careful that you don't get burned. It's like I needed a second set of hands for this particular DIY, but in the end I did manage. All you're doing right now is you're just literally placing all of the sticks together as you see it in the replica original terrarium. filled out the bottom part of the terrarium. This will allow that triangular piece to be more elevated and act like a terrarium, or you can use it of course as a candle holder or a centerpiece with florals in it. I chose to use florals in the end. I'm not going to lie, this bit was a little bit tricky. However, just be patient, and if it doesn't work, you can always take it off and peel off the glue and do it again. I was very lucky in this piece. It only took me a couple of goes to get it right, but have some patience. It can be done. It feels like you might need a second set of hands, and if you've got somebody around to help you hold the pieces together, by all means. Then I was really unhappy about the globs of glue. It's unavoidable really to some extent. I just took my scissors and just cut away as much of that excess glue as possible. Now, to create the ring at the top of the terrarium, I just had an old ring that was really a dress ring. It's of no value really, and I just hot glued that to the top of the terrarium. So here you can see I've managed to recreate the original glass terrarium with a dupe using bamboo skewers. I then used some gold spray paint, took it outside. Just be careful when you're using spray paint. Use some gloves and use a mask. It can be very overwhelming, the fumes, so just take care when you're spraying outside. I use gloves so I don't get the glue or get the paint all over my fingers. So here you go, the finished product, beautiful gold dupe terrarium. I think it's fantastic. Considering it's been made of bamboo skewers, it looks elegant. It looks pretty close to the original. I will certainly be using it as part of my Mother's Day centerpiece. I absolutely love it, and I hope you loved it too. I think it's gorgeous. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. This DIY is a Mother's Day floral candle holder. It's super duper easy to make. It's great for beginners. All you're going to need are florals, greenery, a glass candle holder, and some hot glue. So to start, you're going to pick off the branches that you like from your greenery. In my instance, I'm carrying through my theme of yellow, white and green, and so I'm using this beautiful wispy looking greenery to attach to my glass candle holder. Using the hot glue, I just pick up the branches and I'm gluing them literally straight onto the glass. And really, that's about it. All you have to make sure is that you evenly space the branches around the glass holder so that you don't have any gaping holes. After I finished gluing all of the branches onto the candle holder, I then used a piece of twine to secure the flowers into place and make sure that they were in an upright position. I tied a knot and then I ran the twine around the glass holder a few times just to give it a little bit of dimension, and then I made a sweet little bow and just attached it to the twine. Now you might notice that at the bottom of the candle holder I did add some rope. Using some glue, I just twisted some rope around the bottom to hide some of the messy ends of the branches and some of the glue. I'm sorry I lost that footage, I don't know what happened. But then I added a battery operated candle into the floral candle holder, and there you have it, a beautiful, elegant, gorgeous Mother's Day floral candle holder that you can use for your celebration and all year round. I think this is gorgeous. I hope you love it, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye. I'm sharing with you today my Mother's Day no-sew cushion cover. As part of my Mother's Day celebration, I'm creating a tablescape that is yellow, white and green. So I selected some fabric from my local fabric store in this beautiful lightweight canvas, yellow and white striped design. All you really need to create a cushion cover is some fabric, some hot glue and some scissors. I do need to confess I am a terrible sewer. I don't have a sewing machine. Sewing is not my thing, so I use hot glue. Now because this fabric has a design only on one side, you turn it inside out, you use the hot glue gun and you literally do a line of hot glue down the seam of your fabric to adhere it together. I use a low temperature hot glue because I am using my fingers to really seal the fabric together. You might want to wear gloves, or if you've got finger protectors, do so because it can get a little bit hot as you're pressing the glue down onto the material. So once you've sealed all your edges, then you want to turn the pillowcase or cushion cover inside out. It's the same process really for all material. Turning it inside out, make sure you get right to those corners so that you've got nice pointed corners, and then you're ready to start filling your cushion cover with whatever filling you have. I've seen some crafters use leftover cushioning from other cushions. I've seen wadding being used. I've seen the special inserts that you can buy in a craft store to put inside cushion covers. I just used an old pillow and cut it up. Now you start to get to the more difficult part of the project where you have to seal the entire cushion together. I create a false seam. You can see me turning the fabric over so that it's got a nice clean edge. I do this on both sides of the pillow of the cushion cover so that then I can seal it with a line of glue right down the center and bring it together. You'll be able to see what I mean in a moment, but I find that gives the cushion cover a nice clean finish and it looks really professional. Just take care with the corners. Make sure you don't forget to fold those corners and tuck them in so that when you seal it together, you've got a nice clean corner. So now you're really starting to see the project take shape. I'm so excited about this cushion cover. It's such a pretty, light, invigorating colour scheme. I just love the yellow and the white together. And what creating cushion covers does for your tablescape is that it extends the theme through to your seating. My mum likes to have a bit of support on her back when she's sitting at the table, and this is a really, really pretty way to not just decorate your table but also your chairs. And here's the finished product. Nice clean edges, really easy to make. Hardly any materials needed, just fabric, glue and scissors. I love this cushion cover. It's going to look gorgeous with my tablescape. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye. For this Mother's Day mini glass bottle DIY, all you need is a paper napkin, some Mod Podge and some mini glass bottles you can find in any craft store. You want to cut your paper napkin down to size. I like to use the ripping method. I like the jagged edges. I think it makes the design a little bit more interesting, but you can equally just cut it down to size using your scissors. Then you want to add a generous layer of Mod Podge to your glass bottle. Adhere the paper napkin to the glass bottle and then cut it down to size. It's important that once you've adhered the paper napkin to your glass bottle that you do apply some generous layer of Mod Podge on the outside of your paper napkin for further protection. Once you've done that, then all you need to do is add some greenery or some florals. In my case, I used the same florals that I have used throughout my entire Mother's Day tablescape, and I wanted to use these mini glass bottles to really add some texture to my tablescape and also to give my guests something to walk away with. So by adding some florals, I used some twine and I added it to a paper gift bag, and then that enabled me to beautifully decorate my plates. So here you can see that beautiful pop of yellow, some little florals on top of your tables, and it looks absolutely gorgeous and really sparks up your table. I hope you've enjoyed this quick DIY, super easy to do again. Enjoy, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon. So for this DIY, all you're going to need is some greenery, some florals, a candle holder, and some floral foam. I used a candle holder from a previous project. It was actually recycled from my Easter tablescape. It's actually a clear glass candle holder that I painted white, and then I glued some nautical rope around the side of the candle holder just to make it a little bit more interesting. So you just saw me putting the floral foam into the candle holder. I didn't super glue it in, it was nice and tight. Usually you should put a little bit of glue in just to keep it nice and secure, but I managed to make it nice and tight. So I'm now just adding my greenery and my florals in an alternate fashion. So when I put in one piece of greenery on one side of the candle, I made sure to replicate the same piece of greenery on the opposite side of the candle, just so that you can create a balanced floral arrangement. And I mixed it up with a little bit of the yellow, beautiful wispy yellow florals that I am using as part of my Mother's Day tablescape. And I'm interposing it with some beautiful white florals that I've got in my stash. Everything that I have in terms of greenery and florals come from my stash and used from previous projects. You can find artificial greenery and florals in Australia, in Spotlight, in Lincraft, in a lot of the $2 stores, even Kmart sell them now. So you can just use whatever florals and whatever greenery that you love for your home. For my tablescape, I'm using the colours yellow, green and white this time, and so I'm creating a beautiful Mother's Day bouquet candle holder. I then inserted a battery operated candle in the centre of the arrangement and then started to flesh it. I felt it was still a little bit sparse, so I added some shorter greenery just to fill out any holes and gaps that I had around the centrepiece. So there you have it, a beautiful Mother's Day bouquet candle holder. I think it's going to look stunning on the table alongside the other Mother's Day DIYs that we've been making as part of this Mother's Day celebration tablescape decor. I hope you've been inspired. It's super easy to make, and I hope you've really enjoyed watching me make this today. I've certainly enjoyed making it. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.